Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. Today we are going to talk about the next part of the lipoprotein metabolism, that is the metabolism of chylomicrons. So we'll see in few slides what is chylomicrons, some of the important information about the chylomicrons, and then we'll go for the metabolic process, how chylomicron forms and how it is going to involve in the lipid movement, lipid transportation. So first, this is the structure of chylomicrons. As in the previous lecture we have seen, the chylomicron is a lipoprotein. Lipoprotein basically means it is a combination of lipid plus proteins. So it is just a combination of lipid protein to make lipid more water soluble, to make them water transportable, so that lipids can be transported from one location in our body to the different locations. So that is the combination. This chylomicron is contains, if you see the structures, at the periphery we are seeing this is phospholipids. Yesterday also seen this is apoproteins. So mainly in chylomicron, in the central core, whatever core we are seeing, this is composed of triglyceride and cholesterol ester. So maximum triglyceride we are having in the chylomicron. So maximum portion, roughly 84% to 85% triglyceride will be there. And this core content of triglyceride and cholesterol ester is packed, covered peripherally with the three components, that is cholesterol, phospholipids, and protein component, that is called as apoproteins or apolipoproteins. So if you see the chylomicron among all the lipoproteins, it is having the largest size, because the size of chylomicron is roughly 100 to 1000 nanometer. And why it is having largest size? Because its density is lowest. So if any component, anything is having lowest density, very less density, the size will be larger in that context also. So it is having lowest density, so density is roughly less than 0.95 gram per ml. So density is the lowest, that's why size is the largest. The protein component in the chylomicron is very less, that is the lowest among all the lipoproteins, that is only 1 to 2%. If protein content is going to increase, then its density will also increase. So protein increases the density. So in other chylomicron, other than chylomicron, if you see go further to the different lipoproteins like VLDL, LDL, HDL, the protein content is slowly increases. So if protein content increases, it means their density also increases and size is decreasing. So protein content is roughly 1 to 2%, and lipid content is 98 to 99%, and maximum of this lipid of 88 to 89% maximum lipid is triglyceride only. So we have already seen that one. So this chylomicron is composed having core of cholesterol ester and triglycerides. So if this is a chylomicron, so core means the central portion is composed of cholesterol ester and triglyceride. The periphery, which is covered with the three components, phospholipids, cholesterols, and apolipoproteins or apoproteins, the protein content, which you are going to see here. Then it is having some protein component, that is called as apolipoprotein. One of the main apolipoprotein of chylomicron is B48, that is exclusively only present in chylomicrons. So what is this B48? What is 48? 48 means this B protein, apoprotein B, either it will be B100 or B48. B100 we will see in VLDL, LDL, and IDL. Here we are having B48. This B40 and A48 and B100 is the product of a gene that is called as ApoB gene. If whole length of B gene is going to give you a protein that is called as ApoB, that is means B100 means 100% of the gene product. If it contains only 48% of the gene product, it is called as B48. So 48 or 100 means it is 100% or the 48%. So that's why it is B48. Then another component, apoprotein C. The major function of apoprotein C2 is it activates an enzyme that is called as lipoprotein lipase. Another protein is apoprotein C3, which is going to inactivate lipoprotein lipase. It is having apoprotein E, which behaves as the ligand for the binding to the hepatocytes. Hepatocytes is having a receptor that is called as LDL receptor, LDLR. So once this chylomicron finishes their works, it has to go back to the liver for processing. So liver receives chylomicron with the apoprotein E only. So apoprotein E is the receptor ligand for the receptor present in hepatocytes. And then another apoprotein it is having A1. So these are some of the important apolipoproteins. Other than some of these apolipoproteins, some other apoproteins also present there. Now there are three different type of lipid movements we are having, metabolic process pathway we are having. So if you see this picture, there are three different pathway. One is called as endogenous pathway, second one is called as exogenous pathway, and third one is called as reverse cholesterol transfer or reverse transportation pathway. Now endogenous pathway is for all those proteins, all those lipids which is going to synthesize in our body only, and that endogenous lipids transport movement from body, it is synthesized in liver, and it will be moved transferred from liver to the tissue via different lipoprotein, that is VLDL, IDL and LDL, which we will see later on. Exogenous pathway is mainly for outside lipids which we are going to take through the diet. So that exogenous lipids comes into the intestine, and from intestine it is going to form chylomicron, and then it moves to the blood, and then finally comes to the liver. So this is for exogenous pathway, which is through chylomicron. Endogenous pathway is through VLDL, LDL and IDL. And reverse cholesterol transport is the transport of lipid from your cholesterol from the tissue back to the liver. That is opposite way, it is called as reverse cholesterol transfer, and that is mainly done by HDL. So here we will see mainly endogenous pathway, that is exogenous pathway, that is for by chylomicron. So in case of chylomicron metabolic processes, there are few points we should remember, we should understand. First is chylomicron is synthesized. So chylomicron is a molecule which is going to be first produced into the small intestine for the exogenous lipids. So it is synthesized in the small intestine during the course of fat absorption process. Once chylomicron going to synthesize, that is immature chylomicron, and that immature chylomicron we are calling as nascent chylomicron, newly formed chylomicron. Nascent means newly formed. So the nascent chylomicron contains some of the apoproteins, that is B48, A1, A2, A4, and mainly it contains triglycerides. So these are the component of nascent chylomicron. These chylomicrons are produced when nascent chylomicron is coming from this nascent. So nascent is newly, that is immature. So immature chylomicron is converted into the mature chylomicron by the combination of apoprotein C2 and ApoE from the HDL. So once intestine produces nascent chylomicron, that nascent chylomicron come into the blood circulations. In blood circulation, HDL gives this nascent chylomicron to C2 and E, and it is going to be converted into mature chylomicron. So liver synthesizes nascent VLDL, similar to the nascent chylomicron synthesized into intestine. So liver synthesizes nascent VLDL, that is also immature only, and the same process occurs there also. Nascent VLDL gets this C2 and E from the HDL and converted into matured. Circulating HDL donates ApoC2 and E to the VLDL and chylomicron. So yesterday also, in the previous class also, we have seen that HDL behaves as the reservoir for apoprotein. So HDL is having a huge number of apoproteins, and HDL donates to different lipoproteins these apoproteins. So here C2 and E HDL gives to the nascent chylomicron and nascent VLDL to make them mature one. This is the pictorial diagrams for the chylomicron metabolic processes. So this is our intestine. So whenever we eat, whenever we take any kind of lipids, it comes into the intestine. It will be digested there. So digested lipids will be absorbed in the form of nascent chylomicron. Nascent chylomicron is having B48, A1, A2 and A4, but it does not have apoprotein C, C2, C3 or E. So from intestine, the newly formed immature chylomicron come into the circulations. From there it gets from HDL, ApoC and E. So HDL donates C and E to the nascent chylomicron and it becomes mature chylomicron. This mature chylomicron is having B48, it is having A1, A2, A4, which is previously it had, and then now it is having C2, C3 and E. Now this C2 is going to activate an enzyme that is called as lipoprotein lipase. This lipoprotein lipase enzyme is normally present it's present on the surface of endothelial cells of the capillaries, especially into the adipose tissue and muscles. So in the adipose tissue and muscles, this LPL, which is activated by C2, this lipoprotein lipase works on triglyceride, and you have seen in the composition of this chylomicron is having a huge amount of triglycerides. This lipoprotein lipase works on this triglyceride, digests them, and convert it into free fatty acids and glycerol. Glycerol goes back through circulation to the liver, and free fatty acid will be taken by adipose tissue and the muscles for their purposes, for their utilizations. This is the process how tissue gets lipids या cholesterol free fatty acid from the chylomicron. Now this chylomicron is having less amount of triglyceride because maximum triglyceride has been digested by this LPL. So this chylomicron loses their triglyceride and it converted into chylomicron remnant. Now this remnant also loses, giving back ApoE and C to the HDL. So chylomicron remnant have less amount of triglyceride. It does not have ApoC, ApoE. Again, it is having like similar to the nascent chylomicron. Only difference between the nascent chylomicron and the chylomicron remnant is nascent chylomicron had huge amount of triglyceride, whereas chylomicron remnant is having less amount of triglyceride. This chylomicron remnant still is having B48 and some amount of ApoE. This ApoE behaves as the target ligand for this receptor present on the liver that is called as LDL receptor. So this E binds to the LDL receptor. So chylomicron remnant is going back to the liver for processing and for reutilization of remaining components. This is basic metabolic process of chylomicron. We'll see a little bit in detail. So ApoB100 incorporation involves in the function of here in case of not B100, wherever either it will in the case of VLDL it is B100 or in case of chylomicron it is B48. So in case of nascent chylomicron it is having B48, nascent VLDL is having B100. So there the involvement of one of the protein that is called as microsomal triglyceride transfer protein MTP, that is called as MTTP, microsomal triglyceride transfer protein, helps in the incorporation of B400 or B48 into the nascent VLDL and chylomicron. This nascent chylomicron leaves from the intestine to the circulation via lymphatic duct. So it comes into the comes out of the intestine via lymphatic ducts, remains into the lymphatic systems, moves into the lymphatic systems, and it comes into the blood circulations through left subclavicle vein. So chylomicron comes into the circulation, come out of the intestine through lymphatic duct, lymphatic systems. It comes into the blood circulation through left subclavicle vein. In the capillary of adipose tissue and muscles, triglyceride is digested by LPL, which is activated by C3, and it is having C3 also. So it is activated by C2, and it is having C3, which deactivates LPL once its function has been done. So after digestion of triglyceride, the remaining chylomicron is called as chylomicron remnant, which loses ApoA and ApoC. Chylomicron remnant have mainly ApoCE, cholesterol esters, and B48. This is another detailed picture. So this is our intestine. In intestine, we are having different lipids. So different lipid forms nascent chylomicron, which is having triglyceride, cholesterol, and cholesterol, and B48. Again, this B48 requires a specific protein. I already have told you it is microsomal triglyceride transfer protein MTP, which helps this incorporation of B48 into the nascent chylomicron. So this nascent chylomicron come into the circulation through lymphatic duct. In the lymphatic duct, that circulations it gets H from HDL, mainly two component, that is C2 and E, otherwise C3 also, and it becomes mature chylomicron. Now this mature chylomicron is having C2, which is the activator of lipoprotein lipase. This lipoprotein lipase is normally present on the microsomal layer, endothelial cells, surface of the endothelial cells of the capillary. So this lipoprotein lipase, in case of adipose tissue and the muscles, it will be activated by C2. Once that enzyme lipoprotein lipase will be activated, it works on this triglyceride and digests them into free fatty acids and glycerol. Free fatty acid will be used by the used by the tissue, and the glycerol goes to the liver for the gluconeogenesis, mainly gluconeogenesis process. The remaining component, once triglyceride will be digested, so this component also loses their C2 and some of the apoproteins and becomes small in size because it loses triglycerides. So its density increases because it loses the lipids, and it is having ApoE and B48 less triglycerides. So it becomes called as chylomicron remnant. This chylomicron remnant goes and binds to the liver. Liver is having a receptor that is called as LDL receptor. So this B40, ApoE binds to this LDL receptor, and liver intake that chylomicron remnant and process it for the further or reutilization of its cholesterol or cholesterol esters or the remaining triglycerides. So this is how whatever lipids we have taken into the diet, it reaches to the tissue, and then remaining component has reached to the liver for recycling. The remaining lipids which is coming into the liver, so it will be goes again back to the circulation through VLDL. So like if we are talking about the cholesterol or cholesterol esters, so whatever we have eaten cholesterol and cholesterol esters, it is not given to the cells in this chylomicron process. Through chylomicron remnant, it goes back to the liver, and then it will go to the VLDL. So this is, hope you have understand it. If you have any query, any comments, any questions, you can write in the comment box. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. You can also follow me on different social networking sites. So these are my mail ID, my details. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.